Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Complete Selection Modification Sengoku Driver from Kamen Rider Gaim. I am super excited for this. This has been a long time coming. It feels like I've been waiting for this thing forever just because my anticipation level has been so high. And I'm happy to say I finally have it in hand, so we're definitely taking a look at it today. So there were two versions released. There was like the Project Arc version, which I believe didn't come with any Lockseeds, had a blank faceplate and the gray like waistbands for the driver. And then this is the I can't remember if it's called the Gaim version or the Kota version, but basically this is all of Gaim's Lockseed. So you have the orange Lockseed, you have the Kaidoki, and you have the Kiwami. Lemon is not in here for Jimba Lemon because I believe that's going to be coming later with the Genesis driver. So can't do all of his forms just yet, but there's so much you can do with this thing, it's crazy. But anyway, just the front of the box, absolutely beautiful. I love this. Beautiful picture of Gaim here on the front. If we spin it around to the back, if I can even do that because it's so massive, you have pictures of Kaidoki and Kiwami on this side. So very cool. Other than that, there's not too much going on with the box. You have the Gaim symbol up here on the top. Otherwise, on the side, it just says Complete Selection Modification Sengoku Driver. And the bottom just has all of the warnings and everything. So it's a little hard to maneuver, so I'm not going to bother to show you those sides. But the front and the back look absolutely beautiful. So going to go ahead, get this thing open, and then we're going to take a closer look. Alright, so here we are out of the box. This is everything. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. This isn't everything. You do have the belt straps. I don't usually bother with the belt straps because, again, I don't wear these. These might actually fit me because it is a CSM, so they're made larger than the DX ones, but I still didn't bother. Now, this one does come with both sets of belt straps. It has the gray belt straps and it has the yellow belt straps. So technically, you can make the Project Arc version with this, but you wouldn't have the blank faceplate. So I'm not really sure why they gave you both sets. Maybe there's a blank faceplate coming down the line in some other future set, and then you could technically do everything. I'm not 100% sure about that, but you do have both sets of waist belt pieces for this. You do have two of these. This is the little like Lockseed holder, so you can just take this and it just clips in here, and then you can hold three. He does come with two of them because I believe Kiwami Arms has two of them. I can't remember. One of the forms has two of them. I think it's Kiwami. So he does come with two of these. He also comes with the square thing that goes around the belt straps when you finally connect them together. So, and the nice thing is these actually have Velcro. They're not just plastic clips or anything. You actually just open this up, put it around the belt strap, and then you close it up with the Velcro. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. It doesn't really do a ton, but I wanted to show you that it does exist. And then, of course, you have the piece here for the Kiwami Lockseed to connect where the faceplate goes. They also give you a Genesis core, even though you can't really do much with it yet because we don't have any of the energy Lockseeds. But these things are weighty. I mean, this, I believe, is die-cast metal, these silver pieces here. And it's definitely got some heft to it, which is pretty cool. Don't think there's any metal on this one. This one seems pretty standard. And then you do have the Gaim faceplate. And this is all done in a really nice matte finish. I like it a lot. I'm going to move the Lockseeds off to the side and we'll come back to them in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and slide this on. Actually, I guess I should wait till I turn it on. But I want to do a comparison with the DX version real quick because I know probably a lot of people want to see that. So they look very similar. Very similar. The big way you can tell, like I said, the matte finish. And honestly, if you just held them, you can tell because this thing, again, has die-cast metal. The blade actually has some nice weight to it. I mean, it's fairly hefty. This thing is not nearly as heavy. Also, you can tell because these are not buttons. So the only one that's a button on this is this one here to change the faceplate. On this one, all three of these are also buttons. So this still changes the faceplate. This is a dialogue button. This is a background music button. And then this is a sound effect button. So a lot going on with this thing. Definitely a lot going on. I mean, it comes with a manual. I'm probably going to have to refer to it throughout this review. It's like you bought a major appliance. I mean, this thing is a massive manual for everything that this does. And the nice thing is because I got the, Bandai America version, it's actually got English. Now, I think it's funny they actually type out all the phrases instead of using hiragana or kanji, but they're still in Japanese. They're just in, romanized. But I still don't know everything that they're saying. But the directions they give you it in Japanese, and then they also give it to you in English, which is a huge, huge plus, because this thing is so complicated. I would have never figured it out on my own just by trying to go through the Japanese. But I just have to marvel at how massive this thing is, because like I said, it's like it's for a major appliance or something like that. But anyway, so that's the DX. This is the DX version here, and I just want to do a comparison. They do look similar. From what I can tell, you can use the Lockseeds from this set on both, and you can put old DX Lockseeds in this. They don't, I feel like it doesn't connect 100%, but it connects enough, and you can, you know, use the sword to make them trigger the sound effects and everything. So from what I can tell, you can interchange the Lockseeds. You cannot interchange the faceplates. The faceplates cannot go back and forth. I did try that. This one has kind of a wider, this section here, here, I can show you this real quick if I take this off. You can see this is a lot, I don't know, slimmer, I guess. This one's just wider. You can see this piece here and this piece here. This is much taller or wider, whatever term you want to use. So you cannot interchange the faceplates, unfortunately. Otherwise, they're pretty similar. Pretty similar. So let's go ahead. Now, this one actually has 2 different modes. That's something also different from the DX. The DX only had on and off switch. And you have to put 2 AAA batteries in here, so you just pop that down, slide it off, 2 AAA batteries, load in. Now, this has what they call normal mode, the 1 dot. And then the 2 dots is basically, they say it's all the same, except it doesn't play the transformation standby modes. I don't know why you wouldn't want that, so I'm just going to stick to normal version the whole time.
Sengoku Driver.
So there you go, Sengoku Driver. We'll go ahead and put the faceplate on. So it makes kind of a cool sound there. If you do the sword with nothing attached, just get kind of a generic sound there. If you have the sound effect button, they do that kind of sound effect like when they move it around. Because you know when they always, like, on the show, they're moving, you know, these things around, I guess because they're metal or whatever, they kind of have that. So, like, if he's just picking it up off a table or something, it would be like, and it would just make that sound. So there you go. You can hit that sound with nothing attached to it over and over again, and it'll kind of make that sound that it makes on the show, which I think is actually really funny. So over here we have a dialogue button. Oh, I hit the sound effect button. So I can't play all of these. This literally has, and I was trying to check the instructions to give you the actual number, but it's something like 200 phrases. Hold on. I can't turn the page because these are like ridiculously massive pages. Here we go. So for just the Gaim faceplate, there are 143 different phrases that you can cycle through just by hitting this button. So I'm not going to sit here and go through 143 phrases that I can't understand. And I doubt you want that either. But that's just nuts. So the other thing, and if I put this down for a second, I'll bring in the manual here. And you can just see, this is just the copious amount of Kota phrases. And this is just for him. This is just for him when you have the Kota faceplate attached. You can see as it goes through the manual here, next up, Baron faceplate. You know, and it's kind of neat because this is kind of giving us a little bit of a cheat sheet onto what else is going to be coming out. We have from the Kirishima set, here's Ryugen. It also shows Ryugen Yomi, Zangetsu, which we all know about already. Over here we have Zangetsu Gaim Gaiden version, so I'm assuming that's Zangetsu Shin, I think he's called? No, Zangetsu Shin was his energy Lockseed form. Kaidoki or Zangetsu, I guess. Then it says a Charmant set. Here's Gridon. We have Gridon Gaim Gaiden version Proto Gridon faceplate. So I'm assuming that's the Leche one. I don't know why it doesn't just call it Leche, but here's Bravo. Then we have Gaim Gaiden Bravo. We have Kotakage. We have Knuckle. We have Duke, which I'm assuming is that regular lemon one, not the energy lemon one. Next we have Bujin Gaim, Jam, Maja, And I think that's it. So we do know at least all of those are coming. I'm not sure if all of those were announced already. I'm sure they probably were. But I just thought it was neat because they literally just list out all of the phrases for all of those different faceplates. So you just pop the faceplate on and then you start running through the dialogue button. So I think that's pretty cool. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff. There's so much stuff. So like I said, not going to run through all 43 or 143 rather, but I wanted to at least show you that they are in there, and you can just kind of keep toggling through. Now they also show you about phrases and things when you attach the Genesis core. So if I go ahead and slide this off, and then we'll slide the Genesis core on. Now there is a special phrase that it says when you press the sound effect button when you attach the Genesis core after the Kota or Gaim one has been attached. Is it not going to do it now? Okay, I don't think that's the phrase. That was just another one in his dialogue. I think you have to have something attached in each, so we'll come back to that a little bit later when I actually get through the Lockseeds and everything. Alright, so we'll come back to that later. I thought I could do it with nothing attached, but apparently not. You have to have a Lockseed in. Next up, we have the background music button up here. So I can't play too much of it, but it's going to start playing Just Live More. That's the, theme song for Gaim. So that will do that. If you hit it again, it does cancel. But it does have a bunch. Some of them are just kind of background music. They're not all themes. And like I said, you hit it again, it stops. I love this music. This is amazing. So there's Rise Up Your Flag. And there's another version of Just Live More. So it's really cool. Like I said, I'm sorry I can't play the whole songs for you, but I don't want to get copyright strikes. But there are, as this lists, 16 different mixes. It's like a mix of actual songs and just background music. But very, very cool. I absolutely love that. That is fantastic. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the Lockseeds, and we'll start with the orange Lockseed. So here is our orange Lockseed. And it looks really good. Nice metallic paint. I like the kind of metallic sheen to the orange here. Just to do a quick comparison with the DX one, you can see it's definitely a better shade of orange in my opinion. This one was kind of red, but I think this is a much better shade of orange here. A little bit more kind of metallic quality to it. The biggest change in my opinion is the lack of an on and off switch. So those are gone. No more on and off switches for these. That was kind of a big deal for me back in the day. I thought it was nice because that way you couldn't hit something accidentally. Like if you wanted to just play with this and kind of, hit the Lockseed or open and close just to play with it, it's going to make sounds every time now because you can't turn it off. Not a big deal. Otherwise, they're pretty similar. They have the same buttons here on the back, battery compartment, speaker, and everything. And like I said, they are compatible with both the DX and the new one as far as being able to connect into it. So just doing a quick comparison there. But here is our orange Lockseed. Now it has a couple different modes you can actually cycle through. Right now it's in what they call like the present world. So if I go ahead and open this up, You can hear how it opens the crack for the arms to come through. If I press this down, now it's in Helheim mode, so if I open it, you won't hear the crack, you'll just hear like the arms kind of materialize because they're already in the forest. So that's pretty cool. The next two have to do with Jimba Lemon. Obviously, we can't show that off yet because we don't have the Lemon Energy Lockseed, but they kind of have like a shortened mode. If you go ahead and attach Orange, but you want to go straight to Jimba Lemon, it's not going to do the whole fanfare for Orange. It's just going to kind of go straight to Jimba Lemon. So that's what these next two modes are. There's a Present World one and a Helheim mode one for Jimba Lemon. I don't know why it shouts out mix for these two, but that's what it does. And then the last one is the Invis game mode. So I'm pretty sure that the old ones, the DX versions, and even some of the Candy Toy ones had this. Oh, wow. That's the first time I've ever won. So it just does a win or a lose randomly. So you can just kind of keep hitting the button until it goes through. But let's go back. All right, so we're back in the normal version. And I'm going to zoom out here and bring in the Sengoku Driver so we can go ahead and transform. So you heard he will say Henshin if you hit the button on the back in this form. He says it two different ways. So go ahead and connect. Now while the standby music is playing, he can also say Henshin by hitting the sound effect button, or the dialogue button. So that's pretty cool. He can actually say Henshin from the Lockseed, and he can say Henshin from the Driver as well. So if you want him to say it twice, or just pick whichever one you like better, you have options. Now, as far as this goes, kind of the normal toy functionality as far as the three different attacks. So those are your three attacks. Now, before when we did the dialogue button and the sound effect button, the dialogue button gave us all the different Kota phrases just by having the faceplate attached. You can actually get some more phrases now by hitting the sound effect button with the Lockseed open and transformed. So this is like kind of, you know, Mei's god form. And there's about 14 different phrases here. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a good number of phrases. I think there's 14 in all Mei phrases there. Now, if you hold the button down, so it changes the form. I'm not really sure what this is for. I'm a little confused. I was trying to read through the directions for it, but it has these kind of different, I guess, Suika arms and Kachidoki. There's some extra sound effects here. I think this is so when you have those Lockseeds later on in the line. I mean, we have Kachidoki now, obviously, but they're just, it's a way to hide some more sound effects in here. It's not going to work for every Lockseed because it'll do it no matter what Lockseed's attached, but if you put the right one on there, then you can get these. I guess they couldn't put them in the Lockseeds themselves. So there you go. Not 100% sure why they hid them in there, but that's where they are. So whenever we get the Suika arms, we can use those couple phrases with that one. So pretty neat. Okay, so then there are some different like switching sounds you can do. They're very subtle in my opinion, but there are a couple things you can do here. So basically what you do is you close this up. You hear like a de-transforming sound play. Open this. Take it off. Then you have to hit the sound effect and background music at the same time. And depending on how long you hold it down, it's going to do it up to 3 times. So first we'll just do once. So you hear that sound. You click this on. So that says it was a shortened lock-on sound. Again, I don't really hear it, but close up again. This time we'll do it 2 times. So that one I actually heard. That one, actually, you can hear the old arms kind of disappearing and the new ones coming in, which is actually kind of neat. So that one I definitely hear. And then the third one, we'll do this 3 times. It doesn't say lock on. It's just like a voiceless transition. So that one, you can tell the difference. Like I said, the first one, I feel like it's very subtle, but the second two, I like a lot. You can actually hear like the arms disappearing and the new ones coming in, which is pretty cool. Also, you can do a lock off sound, where basically you hit the same 2 buttons again. It says after transforming. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to look at these directions because, like I said, they're very, very specific way you're supposed to do all of this. It says, so simultaneously press the buttons after transforming. And then I think it wants me to close this up. There you go. So then it says lock off. So a couple extra little things you can do there with the switching sounds and the lock off sound, which is actually pretty neat. You can also switch the cutting sounds, which are a little weird to me, but hey, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. So first up, we're going to transform again. So this time you have to simultaneously hit the dialogue button and the sound effect button. So that was one time. So the first one it says is no sound, but it'll say Soya. Then for the second one, it says a delayed cutting sound and Soya. And then for the third one, nothing. All the sounds are just coming from the Lockseed. So again, you have options. I don't know why you wouldn't want, this thing to do all of the sound effects, but for some reason you like a little bit more subdued final attack. That is possible. Like I said, there's just so many crazy options with this thing. It's really quite impressive, all the different ways you can customize it and tweak it. Plus, you have that, no what's the word I'm looking for? No transition sound effect or no transformation sound effect. Standby music, that's the term I'm looking for. So it's interesting. Like I said, there's a tons of different ways. I guess different ways they did it in the show. You can replicate pretty much all of those. So that's actually really neat. All right, next up we have the Kaidoki Lockseed. Very cool, very nice metallic sheen to the front of it. And again, just to do a quick comparison with the DX one, again, pretty similar. This one I feel like is even has less differences than the two oranges. This one I feel like for some reason this is like a little bit wider on the front of this. And this one seems like a little bit more condensed. But otherwise they're pretty similar. Again, no on and off switch. And then on the back they look pretty similar. This one is has the translucent, where this one has the solid black. But otherwise pretty similar. Let me go ahead and put this one off to the side. And strangely enough, this one feels lighter than the DX one. Usually that's not the case, but this one actually does, which is kind of interesting. So we have that button on the back. He'll say Henshin. And this one has a couple different modes as well. So right now we're in the present world one. If we go ahead and do the Helheim one. He still says Henshin. But again, you don't hear the like crack opening sound. Now the next one is called the First Henshin. I guess the fanfare was a little different the first time he used this. It says it's in episode 23. So we'll try this one out in the driver after we do the regular Henshin, but it doesn't sound all that different to me, but like I said, we'll try it out. And then the last one here, they call this Mega Hex mode. It says it's a battle mode. Basically, this is kind of like the Jimba Lemon modes in Orange, where if you don't want it to really do all of the fanfare music because you're going straight to Kiwami, that's what this one's for. So let's go back and bring in the Sengoku Driver. So there's the transformation for that. And now we'll go ahead and we'll switch to the first transformation. You can see there's a difference. You really have to wait till all the music stops before you connect it. I don't know. I feel like I honestly can't tell the difference. I don't know if it's really that different. I feel like the regular one might be a little bit longer. I'm not really sure. But anyway, you can still go through the attacks like normal. So that's pretty much it for Kaidoki on its own. We're going to go ahead now and move into Kiwami. So here is the Kiwami Lockseed. Just to do a quick comparison with the DX. Pretty similar. You have a kind of deeper gold over here on the original DX, and everywhere there was translucent orange plastic. Well, at least on this side of it here. Still in the inside, but here you can see it's all kind of a matte finish. Same with the button on the back. You can see it's translucent over here. Otherwise, they look pretty similar. This button over here makes the key pop out, and it will do the same over here, but it makes noises. And then you still have that the piece that just kind of opens and closes. I don't think that does anything. I don't think it did anything on either of them, but they're pretty similar. So this one does have 4 modes as well. If you hit the button on the back, he'll just say Henshin. If I hit the button here, so it's pretty cool. It says Fruit Basket, and you can hear all the different cracks opening. So that's for the normal mode. Hold it down once we go into Helheim mode. So it says Fruit Basket, but if he's in Helheim, you don't hear all the cracks, obviously. The next one is what they call First Transformation mode, so similar to Kachidoki. I guess it was a little different the first time. So you do hear all the cracks opening. And then the last one they call, let me make sure I get this right, Mega Hex Battle Mode. So I don't really know what that last one's for. The directions don't really tell me what that's for, but there you go. Let's go back to the first one. And then we will zoom out, bring in the Sengoku Driver. We'll transform to then we have to pop off the faceplate. It's funny, at first there it almost felt like it was not wanting to go. I'm always afraid I'm going to break something, but you just have to give it a little bit of gusto to flip it open there. At this point, you can continue to do the slash. And of course, you can cycle through all the weapons as well. So there's 33 different weapons. If you want to kind of get a bunch at once, you can kind of go real fast. The other thing that's kind of neat, if you get to one that you want, if you can hit the little button on the back, and it's a little difficult to get to, but it is all the way back there. So say, for example, whoops, starting to hit buttons again. If I want, and then I can hit the little button. So not doing it. It's supposed to make a sound that it's registering it. I think I have to hit the button up top here. That's what it is. So if you use this button instead of turning it, you can cycle through. And then you hit the button on the back. You can hear that sound, and if I hit a couple more, and I can kind of load them in, and then when I do this, it'll go back to the one that I loaded in. So it's kind of like a weird way to like save a favorite, if that makes sense. And it says you're supposed to be able to load multiple ones. Yeah, I'm not really sure why. It says you're supposed to be able to do multiple ones. So yeah, I'm probably doing something wrong, but you can definitely cycle through all of them just by turning this. And then if you want to use the button, and then the thing on the back stores at least one. It says here that you can do more than one, but I don't know why I can't seem to get it. It says repeat 1 and 2, register multiple weapons of your choice. Registering sound will play, weapon name will be registered. Turn the Lockseed, sounds will play, and the registered weapon name sounds will play in the order they were registered every time it's turned. So, I don't know. You can use this and store sounds and then turn the key to make them play, which is kind of neat. I think that's it for the Kiwami Lockseed. Oh, no, I'm not. There's a couple more sound effects if we hit the sound effect button. So I'll play a couple, but there are 30, so I'm not going to play all 30 of them. So there are 30 more if you just keep hitting this while all this is connected here. So that is it for the Kiwami Lockseed. Okay, and then the last thing, I did say I would circle back for that sound effect with this. So when you do that, I thought on the DX it opened both of them. That doesn't happen here. I don't know if it's because it needs the actual energy lock seed. I guess we'll see when that comes out eventually. But if you hit the button down here,
そうだ。すべて無駄だった。カイトを見ろ。ミッチを見ろ。どいつもこいつも争い傷つけることしか考えてない。そんな連中のために戦って何になる。こんな世界はぶっ壊して、一からすべて作り直すそのための黄金の果実だ。だからさ、俺たちももう諦めちまおうぜ。
so there you go. That sound will only play when you had the Gaim faceplate. You take it off, you put on the core, and then you have something in here for both of them. So there you go. So what can I say? This thing is amazing. It's got so much functionality packed into it. It's insane. I mean, first of all, it looks beautiful. The die-cast metal pieces, the matte finish, all the metallic paint on all the lock seeds, it just looks beautiful. Then you pack in all of the sound effects, all of the phrases, all of the background music, all of the songs, all of the different transformation noises, the way you can customize it when you switch the lock seeds, which sounds you want to play, when you pop the lock seed on and off, which sounds you want to play. I mean, it's just crazy. You could sit here, for hours and unlock every little thing. It's just nuts. I can't possibly show you every single sound effect or every single phrase that's packed into this. And here's the best part. This is only the Gaim stuff. This is a base toy that's going to be used for future sets. The Charmant set, the Baron set, the Kirishima set. There's going to be other sets in the future. I mean, by the time this thing is done, there's going to be a ridiculous amount of functionality packed into this. I mean, I showed you that instruction manual and all the different phrases for all the different lock seeds that are yet to come. It's crazy. So this is definitely an investment because it is expensive, but I think it's worth your time. I mean, there's just going to be so much. If you decide to collect everything, if you get all of the lock seed sets, by the time these are all out and done, there's going to be so much you can do with this, and it's amazing. And I just love the compatibility where you can have some background music playing and then do a henshin and have him say henshin. Like all those sounds can play congruently, which is really, really neat. So you can have background music going, have the lock seed or the driver say henshin, do the transformation all while the background music is playing. It's really, really neat. There's a ton of cool stuff you can do with this. So like I said, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Yes, these are our first 3 lock seeds with this, but the Charmant set is not far behind. I actually got that the same day I got this, so that review will be coming soon as well. And there's going to be so much fun to be had with this thing. I definitely, if you're a Gaim fan, I recommend picking this up because, like I said, by the time we're done, there's going to be a lot. Now, I understand if you went all in and you bought every DX release, you might say to yourself, well, why do I need this? Like I said, the lock seeds are kind of backwards compatible, so if you didn't want to buy the new driver, you could just buy some of the new lock seeds and pop them on your old driver. Now, there's probably going to be some compatibility issues in terms of, the faceplates aren't going to work. All the sound effects might not line up. You're not going to get any of the kind of music or other things happening in the background. So they can connect and the sword can make them open and everything. So, some of the sounds might line up, like, because obviously the transformation sounds and whatnot will come from the lock seed itself. But there could be times when not everything lines up, and certainly the faceplates aren't going to connect because those do not work with the old DX one, so that's a bit of a bummer. But like I said, I definitely recommend grabbing one of these. I've had a ton of fun with this. It's been fun kind of revisiting all this Gaim stuff, and I really need to get back to my Gaim rewatch that I was doing. I started a Gaim rewatch when this was announced and kind of got busy with other things, and now that I've been playing with this all day, I definitely need to get back to it and finish it because that show is just so good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I want to hear from you. What do you think about this thing? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think if you have the DX one, are you sticking with that? Let me know. Please comment below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Really appreciate it. Watch it, check it out. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.